If you like what you watch, then don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the latest updates on The More Show. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for new weekly television and radio shows.
On today's show, I'll be joined by UFO researcher Darren Perks, angel teacher Jane Sullivan, actor Rick Singledom, and astrophysicist Dr. Bernard Hush. Stay tuned. Joining me now is investigator Darren Perks. Now, Darren was initially skeptical about UFO phenomena. That was until he had his own UFO encounter. Since then, he's devoted his life to research into the unexplained. Darren Perks, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, Darren, our topic today is going to be how will having this knowledge of the UFO existence affect the normal day-to-day lives of ordinary people? So, how would you answer that?
If the visitors, as I'd like to call them, declared themselves open to everybody on this planet and made themselves aware of it, I think it would make people look within themselves and maybe contemplate their life as a whole, their beliefs, their future actions in what they do, how they are going to perceive the rest of their life, knowing that one day they could possibly walk down the street now and bump into a visitor from another planet.
Are they already walking down the street?
That's the question. Evidence now suggests, and historians and various scientists and researchers and investigators around the world will suggest that aliens have been with us since ancient times, since before the Egyptians, before the Mayans, even back to the Sumerian period, where it's been documented in scripts, in scrolls, on tablets. It's been written in hieroglyphics on the inside of pyramids. So,
well, when you say look within ourselves, yeah, by looking within, we'll feel that there's well, you went through a change when you looked within, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yep.
But looking within, I mean, where's the connection with us then? I mean,
yeah, why should people be bothered?
Why should people be bothered?
Yeah, why should people be bothered? You know, so what? There are aliens from another planet with us. But if someone has been brought up by their parents in a normal, average family to believe that we are the only people, it's only us and the animals on this planet. Imagine if that person suddenly was faced with the news that we're not alone. It's going to make you stop and think. It's going to make you think, is this going to affect the way that we operate daily? Are we going to have new technology given us? Are illnesses going to be cured? Because one of the possibilities might be that that person, for example, could be suffering with a serious illness. And now that there are new visitors to the planet that have declared themselves, maybe they have the knowledge and the technology to cure that serious illness. So for that person, it's got to be a positive thing.
But why would it change religion, though? I mean, religion's quite open to the fact that there may be more than just us in this universe.
If you go back to the start of religion and you take someone who has been taught that God exists, Jesus came to earth, his disciples followed him as the Bible says and as the Bible goes, but then you throw into it this higher being or higher visitor from another planet, is then religion is it real? Or has somebody covered this up, or have they changed the story? Because if I was that person, well, the Bible says that this wouldn't happen, but now it has, so is the Bible wrong? Yeah. For someone who's religious, I think they would then establish the connections with spirituality and the higher beings. But I mean, if you go back, I'm going to mention the Book of Enoch, which isn't, it's not in the Bible anymore. And the Book of Enoch said that the fallen angels, the first earth walkers, were those first earth walkers extraterrestrial visitors from another planet. In the Book of Enoch, they are angels.
So if you take that word away, angel, and replace it for visitor, as you call them,
yes,
then they've already been here.
They've already been here.
But that's not taking away anything from religion in a sense, because, you know, do they have a? Would you say they're like us? I mean, or are they? Would religion deem them to have a soul?
I think religion would deem them to be of higher beings, higher abilities,
Gods,
perceived as gods. Like in Christianity, we perceive God as the creator of the world.
Why would a highly evolved, even say they're 100 years more evolved than us, come down and make themselves known? That's taking our power away, surely. That's saying, okay, now the responsibility lies on them. We would look up to them. Why would an advanced civilization do that?
I think it's in connection to the way that the Earth is, or the planet, or what we're doing to the planet, and how we're evolving as a race. Chemical pollution, mass weapons. Are we destroying the rainforest?
So you're saying they'd want to that maybe contact will be made, forced made, because of what we're doing to the Earth.
Because of what we're doing, yeah.
But surely there's got to be an ultimate barrier. Okay, so I mean they seem pretty weak in comparison to maybe the thought of Armageddon. Now, if Armageddon was going to happen with nuclear standoff,
yes,
I can understand your argument there. But I think just for the reasons that you said, I couldn't see that being enough for an advanced, highly evolved, perhaps spiritual beings as such to come down to make that change.
Okay, let's look at it from another side then. If the planet was faced by a large meteor or asteroid that was going to wipe out life as we know it, then would they then show themselves and say, this is going to happen, you can do this and we will help you to stop it, or we will do this and you can come with us?
These are answers we're not going to get, are we?
No.
As such. But it's interesting to talk about it. I mean, so what you're saying is, in a sense, they do care about the way we treat the Earth.
Yes, yeah.
And how are we treating it, like you've said?
I don't think we're treating the Earth particularly well, to be honest. If you're from the outside, like the visitors are looking in and thinking, what are they doing to the environment? Why are they chucking tons and tons of oil into the sea, and why are they cutting down the rainforest? Why are they firing missiles and shooting bombs at each other? Why are they not recycling? Why are they destroying the natural Earth as we know it? If I was one of those visitors, I'd be highly concerned and would want to come down and
maybe that's the thing of free will. Yeah. Perhaps they went through the same process, yes, and they were able to cross that bridge that we're getting close to.
Yes.
And maybe that's the reason why they wouldn't intervene. I mean, what do you think?
I think they would intervene because they don't want us to go down, like you say, the same route as they did. Maybe that did happen
do we
to
own
them.
the Earth?
I don't think we do. The Earth doesn't belong to us. I think there's another agenda, and it belongs to a group of maybe galaxies or planets with a whole host of races. You know, there are thousands of planets out there, and we discover hundreds of planets every year, and galaxies. So maybe we're part of a bigger picture.
Okay. Why would third world countries not be so bothered about the whole UFO phenomena? I mean, okay, us as a first world country, you know, and America and other countries, you know, we have people like yourself, the researchers that look into this and dedicate their time towards it. Why don't you think that same agenda doesn't happen in third world countries? I mean, surely they've got more important things to think about, like feeding themselves, housing themselves.
They've obviously got more important things to think about, but I'll give you an example.
Sure.
The Mayans in Mexico, the Mayans are still there. And if you go to a Mayan village, very much a third world country, and if you talk to them about UFOs, about visitors, they will clearly say to you, the people from the sky. So it's not that they don't care or they don't want to put it at the forefront of what's happening in their society, but they are very much aware of it. In African tribes, it's been proven that the stars, the constellations, and the gods or the people from the skies are there all the time, and that is passed down through generation and generation and generation. If you take Somalia, for example, you know, the traditional African tribes in Somalia, they may not have microwaves and cars and mobile phones, they may not be schooled, but they have the knowledge of the visitors and they have the knowledge of the people that come from the sky.
So if something did happen and there was some sort of proof to say that there's, okay, a bit more than just us here, and there's been visitations going on, how would us as a country react to that?
As a country, firstly, I think people are going to think one of two things. I think the majority of people will accept it, and when I mean accept it, they will be happy, they will be interested in why it's happened, they would want to know a bit more. And I think there will be the other side of it, where the people that just think, oh well, you know, it was probably going to happen anyway, I'm not particularly bothered, I'm still got to pay my bills, I've still got to pay the mortgage. As a nation, I think it's of high importance, because if they came and revealed themselves to the UK, is that the first time publicly that a country has disclosed extraterrestrial visitors to the world?
Do you think you're making a difference to the world and such? I mean, what's your difference you're contributing with doing the research that you do?
Making people aware of the subject, people that may be a little bit sceptical. And I welcome the skeptics because I see it as a challenge. If someone's skeptical about the extraterrestrial and the UFO subject, I like to try and point things out to them and say, well, actually, look at it from a different angle. What if there is no conventional explanation for a series of lights that are flying around your village at 3 o'clock in the morning? You can't just blame that on helicopters if they don't make a sound and there's no structure to them. So for me, as an investigator and a researcher, finding out animal mutilations, crop circles, UFO sightings, trying to get to the bottom and trying to find an explanation, and telling the people and providing photographic evidence or written reports, it's then educating them so when the day does come, they've got a bit of an understanding.
Would you be upset if it didn't come that day?
I wouldn't be upset at all. It's going to happen one day. We just don't know when.
In your lifetime or not?
I'd like to think it's going to happen in my lifetime, because the years of research and the work that's put into it was for nothing.
Well, Darren Perks, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
After the break, I'll be joined by clairvoyant Jane Sullivan to talk about how changing your thoughts can help you achieve your goals. So stay tuned.
Visit themoreshow.co.uk/shop to purchase products and services from your favourite past guests. If you're new to this site, you can also catch up on the previous television and radio shows through YouTube and the More Show website.